Welcome into CHGO Tavern Style. I'm Sean Anderson of CHGO White Sox.
And I'm Nicholas Moreano from CHGO Bears.
CHGO Tavern Style is presented by Salerno's Pizza. Head over to the Grand Ave location and call 312-666-3444 to make a reservation today. On today's Tavern Style, we are talking about Caitlin Clark and her debut in Chicago will be taking place on June 23rd. And if you head over to our friends at Gametime Tickets, you'll see that in basically the back row of the Wintrust Arena. I'm not used to DePaul basketball.
Neither am I, and I went there.
Not a good program. But you could basically sit in the back row of the Wintrust Arena for $180 per ticket. So, Nick, you also being an Iowa grad, are you thinking of paying $180 to go see Caitlin Clark on June 23rd in Chicago in her debut against Angel Reese and Cardozo?
Sean, it's really enticing, and just because it's Caitlin Clark and just the amount of excitement she's bringing to the WNBA, and I didn't get a chance to see her at Iowa, and I was looking for tickets, and they were skyrocketing there as well, at Carver Hawkeye Arena, and everywhere she went. So if my girlfriend and I were like, we want to see Caitlin Clark, it's going to cost you almost what it would cost to maybe go to a Bears game on a cheap ticket price, like,
nice dinner.
Nice, yeah.
$200 would buy you a nice dinner.
It would. That's a really nice dinner. I think I'd consider it, Sean. I didn't get a chance to see Caitlin Clark, everything she could do. And I think what's going to be the outlier here, too, is that from where she shoots from, if you were to go to an NBA game, right, you're seeing everybody kind of do that. Everyone's shooting the three. Everyone's shooting from the same. WNBA, I don't know how many girls are doing that like Caitlin Clark's going to be doing it when she gets to, play the Chicago Sky. So for me, being an Iowa grad, someone who didn't get to see her play in college, I think I'm dropping that money.
Well, and two, I mean, thankfully she'll be shooting from so far, and it'll look so impressive as you are all the way in the back. I mean, it'll look even crazier when she's shooting at half court. I don't know. I've never gone to a WNBA game, and I'm not saying that it's not worth it or anything like that. I think my first ever. It's like going to a Super Bowl as your first NFL game. I don't know. I just think that's
kind of dope.
Pretty intense. Yeah, not a bad thing. If I'm lucky enough to get into the Caitlin Clark game on June 23rd, for free somehow, sure. I'm not complaining. It's just I don't know if that's my first game. Maybe I'll go see. It seems like the season opener just for the Sky will be cheaper. Why not just go see Angel Reese and Cardoso? Or is it Cardoso?
Cardoso?
I don't know. I wouldn't have taken her third. I know a lot of people are high on the duo, but I don't know about this. But anyways, I would rather pay to go see their season debut or their Sky debut in Chicago rather than just going to see Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky, right? So I think that it's going to be an interesting game, but also I don't know about this Sky duo. I mean, you just took two bigs. Yeah. And Angel Reese, household women's basketball name, which is, fairly rare.
For sure.
And you see a player that's kind of similar in Cameron Brink go above her. I know Brink's more of a defender. But should we be this pumped up where, I think the guy on ESPN 1000 is calling it, a Pippen-like draft. Like, I think we could pump the brakes there. Like, I don't know if the Sky are going to be killers just yet. I think this is going to be an interesting duo to kind of figure out and wade the waters.
Yeah, I think there's obviously going to be some excitement when you have two top 10 picks, right? And so I think that's valid. But again, for me, and I think for a lot of people that watch this, women's college basketball tournament, maybe a lot of people were tuning in to see how far Caitlin Clark can take this Iowa Hawkeyes team. And as much as Angel Reese and obviously LSU beating Iowa last year in the championship, Cardoso also beating, Iowa this year, like they don't bring the same excitement, to be completely honest, as a Caitlin Clark and what she's able to do with the basketball. And not even just shooting, it's the passing as well. So yes, I think there should be excitement for the Sky for getting the top picks. But to me, if I had to weigh going to a home opener for the Sky, and again, I've only been to a Sky game when I was actually a camp counselor taking kids to go see there. But so it's good to see how far the game has changed. But I'm still would be considering that $180 ticket in the back row of the Wintrust Arena, where maybe I'm like, oh, that's definitely from three because of how far Caitlin Clark's shooting, but I am a good distance away.
And hey, if you want to, ditch your girlfriend and say, hey, I'm going by myself, you could take that, you could save half the price, or you could take the 180 combined, and then you can get a nicer seat.
Oh wow, hey Sean, now you're putting. Well, so okay.
Nick Night Out.
Yeah, Nick Night Out. I guess that makes sense with me being an Iowa grad. So I can go selfishly to see Caitlin Clark by myself. My girlfriend will definitely have a talk with me afterwards. But
instead of being in the 3rd level, you'll be in the 2nd level.
You're giving me thoughts here, Sean.
Did she go to Iowa?
She did not.
Nope.
She's a Iowa fan by me. So
sorry, babe. I got the tickets through the Hawkeye alumni website. Stop by Salerno's on tap at 1201 West Grand Ave in Chicago's Westtown and enjoy their tavern style pizza and ice cold beers. Whether you're headed home to the game or whether you're headed to the game or want to watch it live on their big screens or you're trying to watch it from home, Salerno's has you covered. Go to salernospizza.com or call 312-666-3444 and mention CHGO and get half off your pizza. Again, head over to salernospizza.com and mention CHGO to get half off your pizza. Do you think this is going to build into one of the better rivalries in the WNBA? Because my biggest thing is I don't know if the Sky are going to get there to the Fever's level. You have Aaliyah Boston and you have Caitlin Clark now in the Fever. I think that tandem should be pretty fun to watch. Yeah. Katie Lou Samuelson was a fairly big name in college out of UConn. She hasn't been that great as a pro, but hey, maybe now having elevated play around her like Boston and Clark will see a spark from her. But I don't know if the Sky are going to be that good. I know Angel Reese and LSU were able to stop Caitlin Clark as a junior, but as a senior, Caitlin Clark was a different player. I feel like Caitlin Clark's probably ushering a new era of guards into the WNBA. Sure. I mean, now you're having one player shoot threes from 40 feet. I don't think Caitlin Clark's going to be the only woman shooting from 40 feet in like 3 years,
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to bring a new era. But also, look, I think you can carry the storylines from college to what this rivalry could be at the WNBA level with the two, obviously, with Angel Reese and Cardoso, like, beating Caitlin Clark in college. I think that puts a little chip on Caitlin Clark's shoulders here. Mm-hmm. Like, yes, you got the best of me in college, but let's see now who gets the best in the WNBA. So I think it could grow into a rivalry, but like you're saying, how good are the Sky going to be? And how long does it take for them to be as competitive of what maybe the Indiana Fever can maybe get to in this next season? Because you do have two back-to-back first-round picks and with what they just had in Clark. And I hope it gets to that point because I think that would be so good for the sport. Because how you see what it was transpired in college basketball, a lot of people are watching. And I think that's good for not just their game, but the WNBA in general. Like, I was watching the draft last night, up until, like, the last Sky pick, which, honestly, I had never done before. So it would be great to see those rivalries. I don't know if Caitlin Clark's going to be, like, the LeBron, like how he was in Chicago, because you just can't get past her or whatever, if that's what it ends up being. But I think it would be awesome for the sport if it can get to that level. But we got to see how both these teams kind of progress up the ladder here.
I think the biggest rival for Caitlin Clark, at least in her first 2 seasons, will definitely be Diana Taurasi and the Phoenix Mercury. I don't know when they play or when the first matchup between those two is going to be, but just what Taurasi said and trying to prove rookies how tough this league is. I think Caitlin Clark is definitely the person to have that on their shoulder and just try to shove it down Taurasi's throat. And that should be fun to watch. When star players have motivation, usually that's when they're at their best. And it should be fun to see Caitlin Clark use that chip and maybe use it against the Sky or maybe use it against Diana Taurasi. That's Nicholas Moreano. You could see him up in the rafters when Caitlin Clark comes to Chicago against the Chicago Sky. I'm Sean Anderson of CHGO White Sox. This has been CHGO Tavern Style presented by Salerno's Pizza.
We all silly like the mayor.